We are allegedly connected. It does say KBS. It's still real low. Why is it doing that? That's very sad.
It's probably a Twitch problem if our internet's fine.
Okay.
Bitchy bitch.
Is our internet?
Looks like we're back.
We do seem to be
bitch.
back.
Why you gotta do us this way?
Okay.
Hello?
We're like green orange. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Okay. Keep going.
That'll do,
We'll
pig.
give it a shot.
Recommence.
I'm gonna step us back for a moment. Vio said it froze on. Okay. So Siren says, imitation is not the best way to get what you want.
Well, being you is apparently the best way to get what I want.
Oh, have you been terrorizing my librarians, little one?
No, I like them too much.
I do
You know,
only
Miss
employ-
B gives me sweets.
I'll have to talk to them about.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you. No. No, I won't be talking to Ms. V at all. No, they're fine.
Well, if my mirror says so, I suppose that must be right. Although you're missing a few details.
Which ones?
He turns around and you can see, sort of coming over the back of the neck, a series of feathers.
How did I forget? And sort of turns to, and just a wriggle of the shoulders and the feathers appear on little Siren's skin.
As you are turned around, you feel two hands grab you by the side and then turn you upside down. Seems like Jaren has caught some prey. You are being held and suspended by an unseen servant.
Novel is so just like bamboozled, they can't stick to a voice and just eventually just give up and return to their normal selves, pale and bug-eyed and alien, and just like, Jaren, let me down. I cannot walk on the
All
ceiling.
right. Well, have you tried?
Maybe.
You are
Do not tell
dropped to the
Papa.
floor. The things that I should not tell your father, the list grows longer every single day.
Well, it is not nice to upset him.
We would not want to upset Mountain Sang. I think his wrath, if I ever were to see it, could overturn mountains itself.
He is very scary when he goes very quiet. You know? That's when you know he's already very quiet, but it's even quieter. Oof. Bad.
Those big, soft eyes. Little one. You are nearly as bad as I am.
Bad?
The compliment.
Oh. Okay.
You know, walk with me.
As me or mirror?
Maybe let's be a little careful.
Oh, okay. And just wriggles and into a little bit larger, but not by much, because this is a teenager. Barden, already starting to look a bit broad across the shoulders. The moon shape on her skin. Her hair's up in a little bun. It's like, yeah, all right. Many people in the library today.
Very nice. You know, back when I was younger.
Oh, 1,000 years ago then.
Give or take. Yeah. Back when I was younger, I was a bit of a fan. There's this, well, I guess you wouldn't call it that here. Let's say there was a story. someone named Ogma. And I enjoyed the stories of this force, this power. But I never quite fit in with some of the tenets and beliefs. I found myself more attracted to some opposing forces. And those people that I grew up with, they told me you couldn't really do both. One or the other with these people. It was knowledge, devotion, study. Or it was trickery, lies, illusions.
They told you, evil orc. You!
Yes. Well, see how that turned out. And the form that you are walking with flickers away and disappears.
Rude! Ugh, don't tell me I was walking with one of your ghosts again. Rude.
And another one of them steps out behind a bookshelf and then falls in pace with you as you keep walking. Can't be too careful.
Pokes through to see if it's the real one.
This time, your hand lands.
He definitely aims for a definitely not existing ticklish spot. It does not exist at all.
He pulls his coat a little tighter. You... Now, Barden.
Yes. Sorry.
Your affairs.
Sir Silverhawk.
Curator of the Grand Library. You can say the whole name. I wrote it. It's good.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Say that again.
Curator of the Grand Library. You can say the whole name.
Takes so long though.
As one of my future knights, it is important to carry yourself with propriety and uphold the values of this institution. So playing jokes is, of course, part of it, but...
I was about to say. Most of it's having a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. I think I've been making some arrangements with the Fallows, and I think they will accept my proposal.
Me.
Yes.
Oh. Just arms around his waist, just crushing hug, which with noble strength is pretty. You did that for me?
Yes, I tried with the Ventiers, but they haven't been fond of me since I disallowed them access to certain parts of my collection recently. So when it comes to training, I suppose they'll do.
What did the Ventiers do? Why are they
increasing.
Why are they in your bad books?
They've been increasing taxation on those who are crossing between the floodplains, and I've been sending some messengers up into the upper reaches of the valleys and plains, and it's been, well, taking some coin out of my coffers that I would rather not have taken.
Understandable. Taxes are a bit... Kind of looks around. Bit shit anyway, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Anyway, just remember, whatever they tell you, you are not one of theirs. You are a, oh gosh. What did I call them? I only have like two. A hawk knight or something? Silver knight? I don't... Again, it's just, if you think extra protection would be good, and it means that much to you.
I don't want anything else. I want to protect this place and you, and it's all I've wanted. Have you talked to Dad about it?
As much as I am happy to mentor and sponsor you, Barden.
You don't want to get ripped to
Telling-
shreds?
Telling your father things that he does not want to hear is not part of my grand,
Yeah.
long job description.
I know. He's... I tried talking to him about it, but he's... edgy. He thinks I can't hold on to myself if I'm
could
about
do
with a
it,
lot of people.
I've been told that before. Well, you could try and do what I did when it came to my father.
What?
Ran away without telling him.
I couldn't.
Mm.
I can see how, make it easier, but it's not the clever way, is it?
No, well, I guess it is the brave way, and that is supposedly a value these knights are supposed to have.
I mean, I want to be brave, but as long as that kind of fits in with everything else.
Well, if you're done with your little act of mimicry,
I mean, am I ever? Really?
I'm used to turning a corner and seeing myself, but usually I can just dismiss the extra illusion with,
I'm a bit harder to dismiss, I guess.
oh, I don't know about that. And with a smile and a wave, he snaps his fingers, and you find yourself sort of flickering out and then back in. And you are in the front hall of the library, standing in front of the front desk, and the bowl of candy is full in front.
I think I might like this room better. And just reaches
with
out
that-
to get me.
As you throw a piece of candy in, it is, of course, sour candy, not sweet. That is the end of our first round of flashbacks. We have a little more to get through. Obviously, we're running close to the end of our time. I think we have maybe 40 minutes, an hour. We'll check. But let's do another bathroom break before we return to these memories.
We take as many breaks as we want. Woo!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! The stream has all breaks.
All breaks. All right.
Get some food.
Yeah.
Get
Calories
some pee.
feed sadness.
Calories do feel sadness. I am so hungry. All right. Beer. Bye.
Beer.
Bye. Hello, and welcome back once again to Strange Hungers. Thanks.
Me again. Ah.
The vision that you were experiencing suddenly freezes around you. And then, almost as if it has gone from third dimensional to two-dimensional, cracks appear at the edges, blue and pulsing. An excruciating pain shoots through your head. Your unconscious body flinches. And then cold. Cold not in the way of discomfort. Cold not in a deep, unsettling feeling, but cold that is blanketed by the many layers of furs and leathers that you're wearing. Goggles. Equipment that is wrapped carefully. And the only light that you see is a small shielded campfire that you've been guarding for the past few hours. You are alone.
I believe in this memory, I am in a copse of trees that have been crystallized.
Yes. It is one place you've managed to find some shelter from the snow and the wind. You are deep in the frozen wasteland of Valkyrie. You set out hours and hours ago from the Order.
And I still have quite some time to go.
A full day by yourself.
He is, with his hands as wrapped up as they are, carefully trying to strip the, oh gosh, I don't know. Is him eating an animal okay? Everybody okay with that? Okay. Stripping the skin from a hare. Not ideal, but what he has. And readying it to put over this fire. It's dangerous to light a fire. It's pretty much a come and get me sign, but he needs to eat. And so he is, as quickly and efficiently as possible, getting this ready and putting it over.
And you need the warmth.
Yeah.
You don't have any of the usual resources that the Order would send a group out with. You simply have what is on your back. Your weapon, warm clothes, but no tent, no protective wards, no extra measures, no body heat to share. Leaning over the fire, your skin tingles with discomfort and you realize you're losing feeling in the tips of your fingers.
He grits his teeth and he knows that there are things that he can do to ameliorate this, and he is doing everything that he can. Everything that he's learned over the past 2 years of being at the Order, the 2 years of being an initiate. He takes advantage of that, but at a certain point, there's nothing more that you can do except just bear it.
Yes. You have to peel the gloves off briefly just to cut the skin off of this animal, and you can see your hand. The tips of your fingers are going slightly blue and purple.
He just blows hot air into it and keeps going. He has no magic to help him because right now, Matthias is not a paladin. He's a fighter. You
manage to scarf down a few bites of food. It helps immensely to have something that is lukewarm at best. As soon as you take it away from the flames, you're leaning over, dripping fat into the fire, sparking up just so you can get a mouthful of something close to warmth before it freezes again. When there's a sound.
He immediately drops what he's doing. He tries to save what he can. He doesn't want to put it directly into the fire because he wants to keep it. But he looks up and pauses.
The glow of the moon behind you is now dwarfed by a shadow cast over you.
He drops it, and I think in surprise and shock staggers back as he reaches as quickly as he can back for his greatsword and hauls it over his shoulder to hold in front of him.
Stalking towards you, silhouetted by the mountains and the moon, you see the form of a gigantic wolf.
Fuck. He readies himself, looking at this creature.
It is pure white, larger than any wolf you've seen. This isn't just a dire wolf, Matthias. This thing is massive. You are the size of maybe half its leg.
Oh my god. Oh. He's seen a lot of crazy shit in the 2 years that he's been here. He hasn't seen something like this yet, but drawing from his general knowledge, he does what one usually does when faced with a wild animal. You do not run. He picks up his feet and he stamps his foot down and yells, "Back!"
It sniffs and steps back slightly, leans down, and opens its mouth. You see teeth. Giant white teeth. Teeth that have haunted your dreams. If you have them. Teeth that has haunted your nightmares and your visions ever since. These giant teeth as long as your arm, lowering down towards you.
Ah! And he just like waves his arms and begins to like yell and shout towards this thing. Maybe even leans down and sweeps up a torch and just...
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay, so since he was
You can use your strength
here,
yes.
I could use my strength. Okay, I'm going to say at this point he probably had an 18, maybe? I think he was strong here. We'll do an 18. Oh, that's great. I rolled really badly. That's 18's plus 4, so that's par for the course. 9?
You scream and shout. Your voice is just whipped away by the wind. You pick up the torch, raise it up slightly, and it snuffs out.
Throws it to the side and just has his sword, so I suppose he'll like flourish with it and try and get the tip like close to this beast's face, trying to scare it off.
As you reach up with your sword, the maul leaning down towards you, you are battered to the side by a gigantic paw that sends you sliding and crashing into one of the frozen trees. Icicles fall down on your head. You are stunned for a moment. Snow in your eyes that is only made like clear by the goggles as it falls. And then you collect your vision again and you see it sort of tilts its head at you like it's playing.
He scrambles up and holds his sword in front of him again. He is going to kind of like make a lunge to one side. He makes a feint to try and see what this creature's reaction speed is.
It doesn't react. It just kind of shifts its gaze to keep watching you.
Okay, then he's going to take a step back. And then another. And is going to begin trying to back away and see what it does.
Starts to growl. you can see the teeth again. A huge puff of smoke blows out over you as it breathes out.
His eyes flick towards the fire where he has briefly taken off his bags. And he's gonna try and run for his things to sweep them up.
As soon as you break into a run. I'll leave a dice.
Should have made a character sheet for young... Actually, I might have a Fighter Matthias character sheet. Let me go take a look.
That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, probably.
The creature then bursts into motion. What happened before with the paw hitting you, it was like getting, hit by a cart. This, you are sat upon by probably 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pounds of force. Again, it is only the fact that there is snow underneath you that saves you from your back being broken, as this thing just presses itself down on top of you with its full weight. The scent is awful.
Fuck. All right. He pulls out thigh dagger and buries it into this thing's leg.
You don't even need to roll to hit. You just stick a dagger into it, and it doesn't really seem to affect it. There's like a sort of a youch, like a needle or a thorn, and then it does sort of lift off slightly, and you're able to scoot out from under it.
He rolls away and brings up his sword and is going to go in for an attack.
Give me an attack roll.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Different attack abilities. Okay, here we go. Ah! Jesus Christ. Oh, I need a better die. That's like a 12 to hit.
Mm-hmm. You swing with your sword, and it takes everything in you to just start avoiding attacks. Like, you are able to graze it to try and cut through the fur to make a few glancing cuts, but you cannot damage this thing in any way that seems to matter to it. All of your energy is just avoiding these snapping claws, the way that it keeps trying to press you down and hold you there.
He is just like furiously fighting this thing as hard as he can, avoiding being pressed as much as possible. He takes like a bite to the shoulder that sinks through the like closures in his armor, through the leather, and another swipe to his torso that just creates this horrible grating sound against the metal and like leaves a scratch across it, but still keeps his sword in front of him, keeps his stance strong, and is fighting this thing as hard as he can.
After what feels like hours, but it's probably only 30 or 40 seconds, this thing finally kind of gets knocked off balance by one of your dodges, falls to the side a little bit, and you have an opening. Make an attack with advantage.
That's the DM taking pity on me. Okay. 25.
Mm-hmm. You sink your sword into the underbelly of this thing, and then realize suddenly that it's stuck. You can't remove your sword to pull it out. It lets out a long, low, howling scream of pain, and you realize as well that although it fell to the side, you are in a perfect position for a counterattack. The jaws of the wolf close around your head. Two tiny incisors scratch down your face, and you feel blood just pour. It is warm. And then, rumbling through the throat of this thing, survive.
He
Survive.
he uses hands and he grabs the fangs and just tries to, like, pry them apart. His head is still in this thing's mouth. He just tries to, like, pry them open.
It closes its jaws a little more. You feel something rip through your ear and more blood pours down over your shoulder.
Fuck.
You should be winning.
I don't know what the fuck you are. But the comments are not really helping right now.
You're going to die.
I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die.
You are going to die.
Then what would you have me do?
Use what you have.
Are we doing this now?
Matthias, this memory. You know what happens. Your life stops being for yourself and starts being for something else, for a promise that you made, as you are dangled right on the edge.
The voice.
But you're not ready yet.
The voice makes him an offer. And he knows that he will not survive if he doesn't take it. So he does.
You take that offer. You have to. And it changes you.
The cold that now is so normal to him is shocking in that moment. But power floods through him in a way that he hasn't felt before. And he lets go. And
This creature is blasted back by a wave of white light.
Matthias, seeing it slumped in the corner, looks to the shards of white that have begun to rotate around his hands and his body. Sees the creature is dead. Kicks the ashes of the fire, banks it, grabs what's left of that rabbit in his mouth, picks up his bags, and retreats into the snow.
And that is your oath, your moment of becoming a paladin. You make your way back to the order, collapse, your wounds are treated. And the next face you see is Vice leaning over you.
Oh, fuck me.
We nearly had to amputate your hands. Wait, 1 second. We nearly had to amputate your hands.
Everybody else gets to keep their hands, but mine have to get amputated.
No, that's just something we tell everyone.
Oh,
You are late to the party, Valerian.
fucking party? What party?
We are celebrating. You've gotten your name.
Oh. What's my name?
I just said it.
Valerian?
Iron Valerian. Seems appropriate.
Is attendance mandatory?
Yes.
Fuck. Help me up.
She does. And with that, you fade back to a strange place. There's an awareness that something is happening here, that you are being kind of sunk and held deep in a place of memory, but for now, your will is not strong enough to fight back. Next.
Backstory.
Backstory.
Who's next?
What if a paladin was gay? Okay.
What if a paladin was homosexual and got his back blown out by a wolf?
That's Sarah.
It's not just me. Shan said it too.
Oh, Shan!
True. First time.
You're
I'm
all
just taking
bad.
it out of chat.
Thank you.
Shame.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, Nicholas.
Oh
You
my
cannot be
God.
saying anything about that
I've been behaving. I don't know what you're
Also,
talking
today.
Maddie hot.
Maddie Hot.
Maddie hot.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you.
god.
I'm glad you think that him with his head stuck in a wolf's mouth is very, very
I'll
sexy.
say
No, what was
Excellent.
sexy was the rage pulling apart of wolf teeth. Like,
Has anyone seen Madoka Magica? There is a scene where something like that happens and just the body is dangling, and that's all I can see. Except you live.
Yeah, I did that. Who's next?
Yara.
Yara.
Right? Yes. Yara. Okay. Yara.
Yes.
The next day, this memory sort of switches and cuts, and then you awake to a face leaning over you as well. It's your cousin.
Is it late? Did I oversleep?
No, it's early. I'm just here to see if it worked.
Yes, it worked. Oh.
Show me what you can do.
That's a level 1 warlock. Oh, okay. Well, you gotta go for the OG. Tara jumps out of bed, rushes over to the window, and says, "Pick something. Not too far, but something."
I think that there's who is it? I think Emerald has set out some tarts on that window down there.
Yara squints and then goes. And like a little flame flickers at the edge of their hands, and she focuses more. And all like stuttering at first, but then like catching her way by surprise, an eldritch blast shoots out.
There's a "Rawr!" as you do so in your mind, and then the tart, one of the tarts about a window like maybe 30 feet away, just explodes. Strawberry goes
So
everywhere.
hard on those tarts. Fucking royals.
Oops.
Oh, Bane. That is fantastic.
It's so I can do things.
You can.
Did you hear the burrowing cat thing?
No.
Oh, okay. I also got a new best friend. Well, no, like, I mean, you're my favorite cousin. No, it's. I usually only see them in my. Like, I hear them, I don't see them. And then, but I did have a dream about them last night, and they're so cute.
Weird. And cool. I want a best friend. No, I have plenty of friends, but I want powers and things. I have to set off for the convoy pretty soon, unfortunately. But I did hear your father's back this time.
Yes, yeah, I won't be able to come with you this time, but hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yeah, of course.
I think I might have to stay here and train to control stuff before they let me go out into the world. But
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you have a lot of learning to do, but it's going to be pretty explosive. I can tell already.
well, hopefully not too damaging. Just
I think that's kind of the point, but maybe save it not for tarts and more for whatever they want you to be fighting and protecting.
threats against our people.
Yes. Big, scary monsters, all those childhood stories.
I wonder how many of them are actually true. Sometimes it felt like they told us those stories so we didn't run away.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen any kind of big haunted bear or anything here. I've seen, the pictures, and I've seen all the stuff that Lady Bay has in her menagerie, but they all seem pretty tame.
I mean, the closest thing to a haunted bear we got was that one owl bear that. Do you remember in the story?
Yeah. With the leaves and the weird teeth. But anyway, yes, I have to run. But I heard Deimos is already at the buffet this morning.
Okay, I'm gonna go find him. I cannot wait to show him.
He's going to be very proud of you. And again, if he's not, just come to me.
Okay. Hopefully you're not gone by then.
I'll try and stick around.
And then Kiara's
You,
gonna give her a big hug.
mm. You are the best hugger.
Everybody has their talents.
And I've got everything else. And
yes, you cannot have the
she
hugs
had-
they are mine.
She heads out. You make your way down to one of the massive dining halls, and see your father. Now, Deimos, your father, he is pretty easy to spot through a crowd, particularly because he has a set of feathered wings.
He's a fancy boy.
He's very fancy.
Spotting him, Kiara will what time is it? Around
Morning, probably
morning, right?
10.
Okay. Kiara will rush over to where Deimos is and sit down either next to or in front of him and say, "Good morning."
Amna?
It's so good to see you.
Oh my god. You look beautiful. Come here, give me a hug.
Hey, Kiara. Kiara will immediately jump up and give a hug and say, "Did you hear?"
Did I hear what? One second. And he he sort of got this wine glass in one hand and this plate, and he just sets them down as he pulls back from the hug and puts them back down on the table. And what was I supposed to hear?
It happened yesterday. I made my promises.
I thought you were going to say I missed your birthday again.
Oh no, that's for you've got a few months.
Okay. You made your... Oh my god. With Granddaddy.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And this means I can go places, right?
You can go anywhere.
No, but important places. Like with you?
Yeah, sure, of course. It's super exciting. I'm doing something later if you want to come with me.
Yes. What do I need to wear?
I don't know. Just something nice. It's a performance. It's a dancing thing.
Oh, dancing? I love dancing.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Okay. When do we leave?
If you can get an attendant to maybe get us a cart, it's just at one of the theaters down in Jalraha. I forget the name. I think it's the Fire Knot.
Okay. I'll go make arrangements and get dressed.
That would be great. Thank you, sweetheart.
Donna scampers off, very excited. We're going dancing.
I love you, Gamna.
I love you too.
He seems fairly distracted, but you manage to put together various arrangements, and your father comes down a few hours later, talking to a tiefling of some kind, seems to be exchanging some papers, doing some work, and then sees you and goes, "Oh, nearly forgot," and just like hands the guy this case of papers that he was holding and walks down towards the cart. He has not changed.
Will you be able to? Oh, you'll be fine, I'm sure. Everything is ready.
Thank you. Yes, I am very, very excited to watch, and I have some friends who will be there as well. Maybe you'll get to meet them.
Okay. But we'll get to dance, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Okay. And
Sorry, Sloan just got me.
I hate this motherfucker.
He's great. Yeah. And then you take off in this cart. He seems to be looking out the window. So how was the ceremony?
It was so amazing. It was very intimidating at first. Like, I have not had his attention on me like that, you know? Like, he's such a busy person when he does come out. But oh my god, the giant tiger? I've never seen anything so big.
Yeah, they don't take that one out so often.
But they gave me a small one. They're
You
so
got a
cute.
tiger? That's
Just
neat.
a little one. Not a real one. It's it vanished, but I hear it in my
Oh, well,
head.
that's good. It's you don't have to get someone to clean up after it if it can vanish.
Yeah. And someone to talk to.
You have lots of people to talk to. When I grew up in the court, I couldn't get a moment's rest.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there are a lot of wonderful people in the court and visitors, and you know, you're a social butterfly.
Yes. but
Everyone likes you.
you're much more important than I am. And you know, sometimes people are busy. They have things to do, and
It's definitely true. And being important shouldn't matter. I mean, we're all a family.
yes, we are. And but it's good. Now I don't have to bug anybody when I'm bored. I have someone to talk to and teach me things. And,
That's nice. That's great.
yeah.
And your studies are going well?
Yes. I'm not the
That-
best.
I don't remember the
books.
name of that. There was some tutor that I think Tiger's Eye set up for you for some writing and stuff.
Oh, that yeah, I stopped that several years ago. But then I did art, and then I did a lot of dance training.
Oh, you'll
No.
love some of the forms today then.
Yes, I'm excited to see what I can do too. But now I think we're mostly going to focus on the new things. I no one's talked to me about it, but I'll have to go find somebody and ask what's next.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure you can talk to maybe Tiger's Eye or someone, and I mean they'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can we speed this up at all? And the cart. Sorry, the cart picks up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just yelled really loudly.
Whew. You find your way to the fire knot. And I would love if you could describe what this setup looks like as you approach.
Sure. For our very, very older, like, oh, not old, like our early days viewers, if you remember the theater that we had a little fight in, it has the vibes of that, but more, everything is more yellow and gold. So you see pillars that are and arches curved, kind of like the one behind me right here, with lots of gold inlay that glow in the firelight, because of course everything is lit by fire lantern, no matter what the day. And seating starts at the level of the floor, and it doesn't go very high. It's more of this like broad expanse of space, and a massive floor in the middle of which is an altar to Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the heart of many of these performances, it's a kind of worship through celebration, through life and passion and dance and movement. And so as a version of, heat, like it's a heat thing,
It's a heat thing.
celebrating through movement and life is a big a part of it. And so yeah, when we come in, it's lots of lush benches with cushions, rounded cushions, velvets. People sit kind of lower to the ground, but very, very comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And you immediately hear, as you approach, you guys are a little bit late, unfortunately, because Deimos held you up. There's a pounding sound. And then as you go and you take your seat, you realize it's jumping. The dancers are spinning, twirling, raising their arms, and then jumping simultaneously, perfectly timed to create this pounding, pulsing beat that falls together with the music, the ringing of bells, and the flickering of candlelight as their own movements sort of wash over you in waves. The fabrics that flare out in reds and golds create a jingling sound of bells or coins that have been stitched on, beads, and then just sort of waves of air as they spin, jump, and then land. Just kind of blows your hair back. It's fantastic.
While watching, Kiara is definitely like bouncing along to the beat, tapping her little foot under her where she's sitting cross-legged.
One thing you note, though, it doesn't look like people are standing up and joining in. It seems like this is a particular performance, and no one else is quite dressed like performers except you.
Is no one going to join?
Oh, well, this is more a visiting troupe, kind of a special. If you wanted to join, anyone is always welcome to join in the dance contest. That's how it works.
Oh, no, that's okay. And for at home in the palace, it definitely is one of the things that like you're encouraged to go as the beat takes you, as the movements take you, join in the celebration of life. So this is very foreign, very foreign to her. Maybe later if other people go, we can go as well.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Well, luckily, I don't know if Kiara's wisdom, I think this is the same thing as they started out with. 7. It's really loud in here.
Yeah, you're looking around, focusing on the dance. It's less that you didn't notice in the moment, but now, knowing what you know, being a little more attentive, a little more aware, you recognize that many people around the edges of this dance are not really focused on it. They're more talking, exchanging pockets of coin, or these like small pouches that are blue and green in color. Hushed low voices. Your father, as you are watching, is sort of talking behind you to someone. Seems like this theater might be less of a traditional dance and more like a place for businessmen and merchants and others to meet in private under the guise of watching a dance.
What is everybody here doing?
We're watching the performance, sweetheart. Isn't it great?
Okay. And I think Kiara starts fiddling with the edge of the dupatta because it is also inlaid with mirrors and coins and it's something to do with her hands.
The music finally subsides. There are numerous claps and cheers, people clapping along to the beat as it fades away. They all sort of spin and bow, just passing through the crowd, not stepping off stage, but rather just kind of passing out among you so you can run your hands along the fabric, smell the perfumes as they all exit. And then the stage is clear except for many flower petals, these small candles towards the edges. Your father stands up, brushes himself off. You see he's somehow managed to get another wine glass in his hand. Well, do you have any lessons you have to get to, Kamna? Am I holding you up?
I cleared the day for you.
Oh, I have a few business dinners, but if you wanna come with,
No, that's okay. I can go back to the palace. I have to find Anushka before she leaves anyway. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I'll go say bye to her.
Tell Anushka I send my love.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a nice dinner.
Okay. I'll see you later, all right?
Okay. Bye.
I'm very he can tell that he's upset you a little bit. I'm very excited for you to hear about this new thing that you're working on.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you all about it when you're free next.
Good.
I know you're very busy. It's okay.
I appreciate that. I'll see you later, sweetheart. Goodbye.
Bye.
And he takes your cart to dinner. Oh, that just broke my heart. I'm like, this guy's so mean. Okay. He takes your cart.
Did it break your heart? Did it break your heart, Alex?
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
did it
Alex,
hurt you?
bastard
Did it hurt?
man.
He takes your cart, and as you begin to walk your way back up to the manse, the brown gates, and then the reds and golds and whites, there's this feeling like a tiny paw is kneading out a knot in your shoulder.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So glad I have you.
I'm here.
We're going
And-
to be such good friends.
I know. We're gonna be friends forever, because that's what best friends are.
Yes.
And we're gonna make magic and warmth and beautiful things, and we're gonna make you so happy.
I can't wait.
That is where this memory leaves you.
Yes.
You okay, Shan?
No.
She was like, hurt them. Everyone blames me for this.
This is true.
Okay.
This is true. This is not Alex's fault.
At least they have
speechless.
Agneta. In my head, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna plan.
I'm
so many things for
be-reeling this.
Novel to just. I'm gonna make Novel give them all the attention and dance with them all the time. Just Novel wakes up like, I'm gonna hug Kiara for some reason, like really hard.
with.
Cool,
Okay, we have so
man.
many cuddles now.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. We begin on a cliff. It's storming. Storms that Tyra predicted with the aches in her joints. It is very dark. Ahead of you, you see a campsite. The fires on the top of the cliffs are shielded from the rain and the wind so they don't blow out, but still makes them easily visible. Who are you with?
I am leading a group from the
Mhm.
Dulcimers. Jet is at one side of me, and Camo is at the other. Two people that I've worked with for many, many years. But although we are technically of the same rank, I often get placed in situations like these where I call the shots.
Mm-hmm. You knew Jet when he was a teenager, greasy and snub-nosed. He hasn't changed a lot, he's just gotten more piercings and has grown his hair out slightly longer, but now he is a man in his late 40s, early 50s. Beside you, as he walks, you see Camo, this fiery-haired dwarf with a long beard. She is playing with a series of vials on her belt. The nervous energy in her fingers is apparent to you. He is often excited on missions like these.
Mm-hmm. It's annoying. I take his hand, kind of like just at the wrist, you know?
Well,
You're going to get caught.
no, I ain't.
Just pull him down behind a stone.
All right. Okay. Well, everything's set. I just need to trigger the charges, and
I take a look at the in the encampment that's ahead of us.
give me a perception check.
Ooh. I love all the brain stats because they have not changed. I don't have to think about anything. Okay. Oh shit. It does go down a little bit because I didn't have proficiency back then, so that's a 21.
A 21. You recognize the winged insignias hidden, but still still apparent to you with your sharp eye on some folded clothing that's been set out by one of the tents. This is a marker of the Raven Syndicate, one of the rivals of your particular group, the Dulcimers. They've been spying on some shipments that have been coming down over the cliffs, especially from the smaller and more often used prison caves that are set into the sides of the Pirellian cliffs here. You're about to make their lives a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Rook is going to pay you handsomely for it.
This is a very good job to be leading on.
Mm-hmm.
I check over. I actually hold us for a little while
Mhm.
until the camp seems to settle down a bit. People get off their guard. Some people even go to sleep. And when I have seen that it is fairly still, I give Camo the signal.
It is just in time as well because you see that his nervous energy is bursting at the seams. You finally give the signal and he just takes off running forward. There's the smashing sound of glass, a light in the distance, and then a few shouts. And then a blast, a wave of heat as explosions go off. The tents immediately burn, an anguished squeal of pain that is wiped out, and people are running, shouting, smoke. And you see Camo is standing amidst the fire, laughing.
Shit. And Awaish tries to dart forward and grab her by the back of the shirt to pull her back into hiding.
Boss, we have to go right now.
I'm
Jet is
aware.
pulling at you.
What are you doing, you idiot?
So fucking beautiful.
I try to pull him along.
You pull him along, and he just like takes an arrow to the shoulder as he's laughing. You see it looks like one of the guards has stumbled out of one of the tents. His black tabard is burning, but he manages to loose another arrow over your shoulder as you dart forward and away. There's more people than you expected too, although the flames are licking up the tents. 3, 4, or 5 of these dark cloaked figures are running out from behind another rock encampment towards all of you. You are outnumbered.
Stressful, but not the first time I've been outnumbered. And we know how to get out of here. I'm not worried as much as I am pissed that Kama would do something so irresponsible.
He's still laughing in your grip as you run forward. The darkness, the cover that has protected you is protecting your retreat as well. You leave the fires behind, and it is blessedly in shadow as you run along the sides of the cliffs.
Rain pelting down.
Mhm.
So, a lot of cover.
Mm-hmm. You run along the path that was set. It's been marked out with posts so you can feel for it even without being able to see. You reach forward, hand over hand. You let go of Camo at one point. Jet is running beside you. You think you reach forward for another one of those posts, and it's a rock. It's sharp under your hand. You pull your hand back, and then there's nothing under your feet.
And that doesn't make any sense because I planned this out.
You set the posts. You knew the route. You marked the trail. You walked it back and forth.
There's not much time. My brain works fast and knows immediately what happened, even if it doesn't make sense that it's what happened. I cast Featherfall on myself.
You cast Featherfall. You are buffeted by the feathers sort of falling up and over you. Gravity shifts. The direction of your hair changes. You adjust to catch your balance and then hit. Not hard, but warm. And immediately, as you are floating on the surface, a wave washes over you. The spell fades. Your hair goes from floating to plastered against your face, in your eyes. The clothes that you're wearing to protect you from the wind and the cold are now dragging you down.
I try to pull myself back up, and I do. I get to the surface, and I don't care anymore. I know what happens on nights like this because I've done things to people and sent them into these waters on nights like this. So I don't care who sees or who finds me. I come above the waves and I shout and prestidigitate sparks into the air.
You were stronger back then, but it is storming. Will you give me an athletics check with disadvantage?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus. Athletics. That's a 7.
Mm-hmm. The force of the waves as they're crashing over you takes all your strength, and you are immediately tired just holding yourself up. Takes all your strength to just hold yourself close to the surface. You release that spell. You see a shower of sparks somewhere far up above you before you are tugged underneath the water. Your lungs just fill with it instantaneously, and it takes you a moment or two just to try and cough and get another breath before you realize you are sinking. You have no idea which way is up.
I try to orient. I know this is pretty lost as a cause, but I am not a person who doesn't fight.
You see a light floating in front of you. A light that you've seen, again, in visions, memories, dreams, nightmares before. That floating, blinking light, like sun on the surface of water.
And there shouldn't be sun, and I should know better. But I'm tired, and I, just without even thinking, reach for it before I realize what's happened.
You feel it around your ankle first. Some kind of tendril wrapped around and spiraling up, maybe seaweed, and then a pressure against your face.
It's... that feeling of it going over my face is almost enough to break me out of not realizing that this is a memory, because it is so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much like what Drock and the pirates have to breathe underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment, suddenly, I can breathe again.
Mm-hmm. Air fills your lungs, except it's not really air, or maybe there's something wrong with you because it burns as whatever is pressed over you and around you suddenly begins to sting. Your skin crawls. You try and suck in air, but it's not working right.
And I know what this is.
Where are you?
I'm in the reefs, where there is a particular strain of carnivorous anemone.
Mm-hmm.
I am being eaten.
The fire coral around you, it would be red, but there's not a lot of light down here. That glow that you saw just blinks out. You can tell that maybe whatever phosphorescence is happening, if you were smart enough or coherent enough to think about plants at a time like this, is perhaps triggered by movement, and you're not moving very much anymore.
I have more time now. Even if I know, have seen, have known that I've lived here all my life. I've never seen anyone get out of this. But I try to reach as much as I can and break off a piece of coral into my hands.
It takes you a long time. The burning that covers your body stops, and that's worse. You know what it means if you can't feel anything. But you manage to break off a piece of coral. You don't even think you're too far below the surface. You just can't move.
And painstakingly, with whatever movement I can, over and over and over for so long, and I lose track of time, and I don't know how long I've been down here. I can't even see really myself to get a vision of how long I've been down here. Message after message in that glowing ink from my fingers, begging, sending the coral upwards, sending it towards the shore. I am here. I am under the water. Help.
At one point, you see a shadow cross overhead. It could be a tendril or the anemone shifting, but it might be a boat. You release a final piece of coral. It floats up above you, and even that movement causes another spike of pain, which is perhaps a good thing. You can feel the runes on your face and your chest and your arms glowing, trying to protect you. Asar's work. A gift and a curse, because you're somehow still conscious. you release that coral and that consciousness finally, blessedly, fades. There are more memories associated with it. Continue.
I don't die. Somehow. But when I am finally found and pulled up, there is not much left of me that is the same.
You are changed, transformed. You don't even recognize the feeling of a hand in your own, or see the face of the person who you are laid in the lap of, but her voice is the same. Hey, Snowflake.
Ira.
I'm gonna get you home. Don't worry.
And I drift back off.
Mm-hmm. You fade back into memory. We are cutting a little close to time here. How are we all doing? We have 2 more things that we might want to touch on, but I can absolutely save them for next week. How are we feeling? You gotta run anytime soon, VJ?
In like 30 minutes.
Okay. I think in that case, if you don't mind, I'd rather cut us here so we have time to wrap. It's been an emotional episode. And we'll leave 2 more little things to... I also think it's nice because we've got some psionic stuff going on with Tazriel that will be perfect to return to. So, thank you so much for watching this intense and beautiful and wonderful episode of Strange Hungers. We will... I'm not sure we're going to be back next week. We have some schedule changes that are kind of coming up related to the holidays, but we will have more amazing content for you soon. Again, if you can't find information on Twitter for any reason, you can find us over on Instagram at Total Party Kiss. Our YouTube is also at Total Party Kiss, and we will have more information for you in the future for places to find us if anything like that happens. Keep an eye out for Cottonwood on Thursdays. That is our incredible Percy Jackson campaign run by our friend Depth. You can always find past episodes of Strange Hungers, Cottonwood, and of course, Tragedy of Theologian, which I'm not sure if we have Tragedy.
Yes. Tragedy is happening tomorrow night.
City.
Amazing. Tragedy of Theologian is back tomorrow night with Serenity, so go check that out tomorrow evening. And thank you so much. We didn't really use multiverse as much today, but thank you for multiverse, one more multiverse for our maps, and to Soundtail for our incredible music. I'm gonna put that in the chat.
It's so great and
I think
cool.
that those are... It's so great and cool. We're going to go decompress. To our audience, thank you for joining us. Always remember to take some time, step away, get some water. We love having you here with us.
Thanks, everybody.
Any other big announcements?
Thank you.
That's it. That's all.
Okay,
That
cool.
was awesome.
See you next
you soon.
week,
Bye.
maybe. See you, maybe. Bye. Bye.
See you eventually.